every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Again, my name is Terrell Bilbo, better known as Crypto Bilbo. And again, this is not financial advice. This is my way of providing information, making sure we stay up to date in this crypto market, pointing out some of the opportunities, pointing out some of the things that there's out there for us to be paying attention to and looking at. So we'll go through this presentation today. Just want to say, hey, I'm not just a person on YouTube, but I have taken crypto serious, very, very seriously since 2018. So here's some of the things that I've accomplished in my career so far. And then tonight we're going to cover the history of money, understanding crypto and the blockchain. Who are the big players in the crypto game? We'll do a market update. And then tonight we're going to discuss max pain. What is it, and what does that look like to the crypto market right now? And then metaverse, what is it? What is the benefits of it? Who are the players in metaverse as well? Because like we always say, success leaves clues. And this, I'm gonna give you guys a metaverse project that I believe that'll be tremendous, and take a look at it. And then at the end, just for attending, I want to give everybody a copy of my ebook where I have my power picks, my 3 crypto power picks for 2022 projects that I've done the research on. I've done my own due diligence. Always do your own due diligence. Always research these projects. But these are 3 that I feel have a chance of doing something great in the market. So again, this is not financial advice. So here we go. History of money, right? So we started off 19,000 BC, barter system. We actually traded shells as well. Sorry about that. I actually traded shells. That went from trading minting coins in about 700 BC. Then we were on the gold standard, which basically meant that every coin had to be backed by the same amount of gold, right? So that kept the system fair and balanced. And then we had a meeting called the Bretton Woods meeting, where we actually came off of the gold standard. In doing this, this allowed the governments or the central banks to be able to print as much money as they like, right? So from then after, we were always known in what is now called a fiat system. A fiat system is basically we going off the trust and the value backed by the government. And this has been one of the things that I feel that has led to the increase of inflation. And then we had the market crash in 2008, and then that led to 2009 crypto Bitcoin being created, and like they say, the rest is history. So a little bit on how Bitcoin works, right? So you download a software onto your phone, so whether it be an app, a wallet, trust wallet, whatever the case is, you download that onto your computer. A software will engineer a unique address like you see right here. This address, think of it like your bank account number. So this is your bank account number. So whenever you're trying to receive funds or whatever, this is your public address that's attached to your wallet. And then once you have that wallet, you can either buy funds with a credit card, or you can have somebody send you in Bitcoin into that wallet. Once that transaction is authenticated on the blockchain, then those funds are now in your wallet, and then now you can use it to pay for things online, send Bitcoin to somebody else that you love or a loved one, and now you have those coins in your wallet, and now you're able to transact inside of the ecosystem. So what makes Bitcoin unique is the protocol, right? And they have a halving protocol that happens every 3 to 4 years. And when this happens, that means basically the amount of Bitcoin that is put into circulation is cut in half, right? So when it first came out in 2009, every 10 minutes or every 210 blocks, they had 50 Bitcoin were put into circulation. And in 2012, it went down to 25. 2016, it went to 12.5. Now, currently, we're sitting at 6.25 every 10 minutes, every time a block is halved, right? So the significance of this, it makes it deflationary, meaning that the amount of supply that is going out into circulation is being minimized. It's creating scarcity in the market. So when you have more demand, like we're seeing now, Bitcoin is going crazy. Even in the up and down market, a lot more people are talking about it. Everybody's talking about crypto. So the demand and the attention is going up, but yet and still the supply is coming down. So what that does, it creates a supply and demand function in the marketplace, and that's what drives the price of Bitcoin. So to understand Bitcoin, you have to understand what is the technology that it's running on. So blockchain technology is the technology that Bitcoin is running on. Think of it like the internet, and Bitcoin would be a website that's running on top of the internet. So basically, the blockchain is a decentralized ledger, public ledger, where each block of data is added to the previous block of data and can't be changed or manipulated. So if you were to do a transaction, the transaction is requested, a block of data representing that transaction is created, then the block is sent to every node in the network. So you have a group of computers all around the world that are housing these transactions. And once you make a transaction, it checks with all of the other nodes inside of the network to verify if that transaction is valid, right? So once they verify that transaction is valid, then that node then validates that transaction, and then the nodes or the group of computers, they receive the reward for the proof of work that they've done. They figured out the complex algorithm, cryptography of that message, and they get rewarded for that. And then that block is then added to the previous block on the blockchain, and now that transaction is complete. So that's a little bit about how the blockchain actually works when you do a transaction. So this is Kathy Woods. She is the CEO of ARK Invest, and she's been pivotal in the space, in the tech space, primarily. And she's called Amazon, Tesla, a lot of the big companies. And this is her analysis on why Bitcoin will be $500,000 at one point.
Why one Bitcoin will equal $500,000 per coin.
Bitcoin, more in the fintech realm. We are seeing corporations, we didn't expect this. We expected institutional interest, but we didn't expect corporations to substitute Bitcoin for cash. MicroStrategy was the first. All of its cash is now in Bitcoin. And in fact, it did an offering so that it could buy more Bitcoin. Square has put 5% of its assets into Bitcoin. And we're seeing more mature companies like PayPal enabling the buying and selling of Bitcoin on its platform, as Cash App does as well. Well, if companies in the S&P 500 were to put 1% of their cash into Bitcoin, that would increase the price of Bitcoin by $40,000. Today, it's close to $30,000. So that's more than a double right there. If we saw 10%, of course, that would add 400,000. And I just told you, MicroStrategy has put all of its cash in. Perhaps emerging markets will be faster in terms of adoption. But we have been very surprised at how quickly this has happened in the United States. Institutions are going to have a significant impact on Bitcoin's price. We're seeing all kinds of evidence today. I just gave you some about corporate cash, but we have the OCC. Last July, they allowed custody banks to federally chartered banks to custody Bitcoin. And just within the last month, they have allowed banks to actually become nodes on any public blockchain so that they can enable much less expensive and efficient settlement. So that is again, a little faster than we would have expected. We've seen Fidelity, the infrastructure has certainly been moving into place for a while. Fidelity, the Intercontinental, ICE, the Intercontinental Exchange, the CME, and Cambridge, the consultant wrote a paper about, it was a little more than a year ago, basically telling institutions, hey, this could be a new asset class. And it has a very low correlation. In fact, it has the lowest correlation if you compare Bitcoin with all the other major asset classes out there. It has the lowest correlations of any other combination. So we believe that here you can see that if our analysis on how institutions will look at allocating to this space is correct, and this is using a Monte Carlo simulation, institutional involvement could increase the price of Bitcoin. Again, it's 30,000 now, by 200,000 if they want to minimize volatility, to 500,000 if they want to maximize their Sharpe ratios.
Hey.
Okay, so you can tell that that's an older video, but basically what she's already said has already came to fruition, right? So she was saying that it would be hit about 70,000. So we hit just under 70,000. We were about like 67, 68,000 at the top, and then we've been in that downtrend for about the last 8 to 9 months. So that's what's been going on in Bitcoin. So that has already happened. But like she spoke about, companies like MicroStrategy, Tesla, just recently MicroStrategy bought another $26 million in Bitcoin. So they when you hear buy the dip, that's a scenario if you understand what that means, and if you understand where you're buying, where you're buying is a good strategy to take. A lot of people bought at the highs, and one of the things I did want to talk about tonight is changing the mindset of how we actually look to purchase these things, and what does that mean? Like when we have a Black Friday sale, everybody's running to Walmart, busting down the doors, because they know they're getting the lowest prices. But in crypto and assets and investing, people do the exact opposite. Like they run in when the prices are skyrocketing, and because they don't want to miss out on it. But that's the exact wrong time to buy, because you're buying at the highs, and you have guys that have bought, like MicroStrategy. They did a lot of buying around 23,000, 29,000. So when it got up to 69,000, that was their period to take profit at that time, when everybody else was FOMOing in and getting excited and riding the hype train, where they were just using that liquidity to take their positions, to liquidate their positions at the end of the day, to make money. So I want to be the one to help people understand that shift in mindset of saying we're going to buy at the lows and sell at the highs, and not the other way around. Okay, so these are some of the companies that are already in it. And then another thing to keep in mind is that in 2017, when we saw $20,000, like there was no institutional money in the game at all. Right now, you have all of these major companies, and these are the public companies. There's a ton of private companies that are also, and I mean, they are raising an absorbent amount of money in crypto right now. All of these different DAOs and organizations and blockchain foundations that they're putting together to push and pump these platforms and build these technologies. I mean, it's a crazy amount of money that's being raised right now. So I don't think we've even seen the potential of what this asset class is getting ready to do, right? So metaverse is something that we've been hearing a lot about, and I wanted to speak on it tonight because I really truly feel like this is the opportunity that a lot of people might not understand. But this is the next frontier. Like, this is how we're going to operate. And I have some examples in here, but basically metaverse is a virtual reality space in which users can interact with a computer generated environment and with others. So we really think about it, we've already been interacting with the metaverse. For the kids, if they've been on Roblox and Minecraft, what is it? Fortnite, all of these different games, all of that is basically the metaverse, right? Where you have a virtual skin or avatar and you're in there and you're interacting with other people. You're talking to people on the headset, but now everything is going to start to push into this environment, and retail investors are getting involved, and the big guys are getting involved in this space very heavily. So of course we've seen Facebook change their name to Meta. That's going to be huge. The reason why, because we got to understand we're in the middle of mass adoption. So when you look at Facebook, and this is in 2017, they had over 2 billion users per month, right? So I'm sure it's closer to 3 billion or more now. So those are 3 billion people that are now being introduced to this metaverse, being introduced to this crypto. So all of those people have to come into the system in some form, somehow. And that's what we're seeing right now, right? Then you have things like LeBron. First, crypto.com, I believe it's a great application. Definitely suggest anybody go and check that one out. But crypto.com, they just partnered with LeBron James, but also paid the highest naming rights for the Staples Center in LA. Huge. And now you're starting to see them all over everything. And they're doing a lot with like NFTs, metaverse as well. So that's going to be big. Then you got Microsoft that just made a $69 billion gaming and metaverse bet. They just bought the company Activision Blazer. And they hold some of the biggest names inside of like gaming, like Call of Duty, some of those really, really big games. And gaming, a lot of people don't know, gaming makes billions of dollars per year. So they're not getting into the space to make a couple of $1 million. They're getting into this space to really expand it and really take control of it. It said this acquisition will accelerate the growth of Microsoft's gaming business across mobile, PC, console, and cloud, and will provide the building blocks for the metaverse. So they plan to come in and really take control of this space because they know it's a $1 billion industry already, right? And then Walmart is getting into the metaverse. I mean, we've already been experiencing where you'll go shopping, and for the most part, all the checkout lines are empty except for maybe one, and then you have all the self-checkout lines that where you can do it yourself. There's no people. We've already been being conditioned to be in this kind of like cashless, society where we're interacting virtually with everything, with the machines, right? So Walmart is doing that. So what I wanted to do is give you a little example of your future shopping experience when you go to Walmart. Check it out.
Thanks for visiting Walmart. I will be your shopping assistant module today, but you can call me Sam for short. Okay, let's get started. I have your shopping list loaded up, and I'm tracking your oil change so I can let you know as soon as it's done. You see the tomato sauce on your left? Go ahead and grab that and then place it in your cart. Great. Looks like you need a good wine pairing. Take a look to your right. Your age has already been pre-verified through your profile, so no need to wait for an ID check. Just place the item in your cart whenever you're ready. I'm getting a notification from your connected smart grid. It looks like you already have a full gallon of milk at home. Should we put this one back? Hey, good news, your oil change is done. Your vehicle will be ready at the Tire and Lube Express. I've added the service charge to your cart. Now for the fun stuff. to electronics. You definitely saved the best for last. This TV has great reviews on Walmart.com. Add it to your cart, and I'll have it brought to the front for you. Need any accessories? Here are some options on Jet.com. Looks like that's everything on your list. Are you ready to check out with Walmart Pay? I'll have the TV brought out to your car. Thanks for shopping at Walmart and have a great day.
Now that is amazing to me. Like we're really seeing the future in front of our faces right now. And like I said, I just want everybody to be paying attention because it's a lot of stuff. It looks futuristic and people don't realize like it's happening right now. And it's so important for you to not only be paying attention, but like be involved. Like some of these platforms, some of these projects, you need to be involved with them there. So when they do take off and they become the internet, like in 95, when people didn't know what the internet was, and now they can't live without it. Instead of being consumers of the internet, you can now be an owner of the internet. And I think that's what's important. So definitely want everybody to be paying attention to that. So CoinMarketCap is where we go to check out all of our coins, do all of our analysis. So always want to make sure you go there. So we'll take a quick look at the market right now, see what everything is looking like. So currently we have 17,271 coins. We have a market cap of $1.7 trillion. That's up 1.5. So we've been rebounding. We've been going through a little bit of a downturn. I think the correction is happening. But I would still say, like, we're still in the place that we haven't broken market structure to the upside. So we're still, you staying with the trend, but things are increasing a little bit. And then if you want to look at the market as a whole, Bitcoin is up 5% in the last 7 days. Ethereum is up 14%. BNB 1%. Cardano is up 6.5. Solana 17%. So the market is a little bit greener than it was the past week. So we're getting some of that downturn. We're getting some of those gains back. But I still say, don't have a bias. And that's one of the things that we have to learn, especially in crypto. Don't have a bias whether the market is going up, down, or sideways. You have to have a plan to know how to make money in either situation. So topic for tonight, like Max Payne. Max Payne is a scenario where I believe that we're going through right now. Right. And Max Payne is basically a lot of the people who bought in at the highs, the $60,000 buyers, the people who bought Doge at 70 cents or whatever the case is, because they got in late. If they didn't take profit, well, I know they didn't take profit because they bought at the highs. They've been experiencing this drawdown for the last, 8 to 9 months. And this is what it is. The guys who have the bigger money, the bigger money that's in this game right now, they have time to inflict as much pain on this market as they can, because the thing that we have to understand is that the only way they get more crypto in their wallet is that you have to sell yours, or you have to buy so they can take profit. So we have to switch the way that happens. And right now, I think, I read reports that our economy and our financial system might fall another 15 to 20%. May fall another 15%, 20% before the Fed jumps in, right? So again, taking the max pain out on the people so you can get to a point where you say, man, this ain't working, this crypto thing, I don't get it. You know, I done lost a lot of money on this thing and I'm out. And that's what they're really counting on, right? Excuse me. So you have Mr. Krugman says they liken the market to the subprime market crash and warns that regulators are making the same mistakes. Excuse me. He said, I'm seeing an uncomfortable parallel to the subprime crisis of the 2000s. There's growing evidence that the risks of cryptos are falling disproportionately on people who do not know what they're getting into and are poorly positioned to handle the downside. I agree with that, right? He also explained that investors in crypto seem to be different from the investors in other riskier assets like stocks, who consist of disproportionately affluent, college-educated whites. He cited that in a survey done by the research organization NOR, stating that 44% of the crypto investors are non-white and 55% have no college degree. Right? NOR also says that cryptocurrency is opening up investing opportunity to a more diverse investor. Excuse me, investor. And he also pointed out like the subprime mortgage lending was similarly celebrated and held as a way to open the benefits for home ownership to previously excluded groups, right? So this is what I want you to take out of this, right? Me being a real estate professional before, and I still am, I was in the mortgage industry, right? And he's right. Subprime mortgages gave home opportunities to people who normally couldn't afford it or normally wouldn't be in position or have the opportunity to own a home, right? So I was involved in that as well. So I know the downfalls of it. The benefit of it was that it did give a lot of people that first time home ownership possibility, right? But what didn't come with it was the education of saying, hey, in the next 2 to 3 years, you're gonna have this payment that's gonna increase, you're gonna have this balloon. So while you're in the property, we got you in here now, why don't we work on your credit to make sure when this time comes, you're able to refinance, stay at a lower rate, and benefit from the opportunity you've been given, right? That education income. So that's why I'm saying with crypto right now, the same thing is happening. Like you said, I said a more diverse investor, right? So that means that's the average person is now able to take a small amount of money, put it into crypto, and see large gains. Some of them are, right? But a lot more would be able to do that if the education about the market was given as well, not just, hey, jump on this dog coin or jump on this, and I run and I put all this money in this hype, and I don't really understand what I'm investing, and then now I'm sitting on at a 92% loss, right? But if you understand the market as a whole, like take SHIB, for example, if people who invested in SHIB a year ago, today, as it went up 1,000%, yeah, SHIB might have retraced 50%, but if it's up 1,000 and I'm up 1,000, I can stand a 50% correction, right? But if you bought at the highs, like he said, you're in a poor position to handle the downside. And I believe that's what I want to help people understand. Like these projects, especially right now, we're seeing some of the lowest prices I feel that we'll see in a while. And I still believe that we have the possibility to go even lower. But if you're looking for that and don't look at that as a bad thing, then you can see the opportunity in it, right? So I want to give one of the platforms that I think is a tremendous platform and you should really take a look at. And it's also featured in the bonus that I have for you this evening is Immutable X, right? A layer 2 scaling solution for Ethereum. So most people know Ethereum gas fees are high, crazy out of this world, and they're working on Ethereum 2.0 or whatever the case is. I don't think they're going to be calling it that, but it's an upgraded version of Ethereum that allows it to be more scalable. But one of the things that you're gonna hear a lot, or you should be hearing a lot, or looking for, are projects that have interoperability, right? Because think of every coin as its own ecosystem. So you got Cardano, you got the Solana blockchain, you got Ethereum blockchain, you have all these different blockchains, right? But the platform and the developer that marries all of those together and puts it where all of those different blockchains, all of those ecosystems are able to talk seamlessly together, I believe will be a winner in this space, right? Still early, but I like a lot of the things that they're doing. They have the backing of Ethereum's developer and creator. He's on board with the project and think this is going to be the next biggest thing. So again, interoperability, being able to communicate with all of these different blockchains are going to be very big in the coming years. So that's one of the things that I would take a look at. And then gaming is going to be really big, and they're really big in gaming. So check out some of the projects that they have on there, and you can read more about it in the book. So make sure you're following the website. If you want to get on there and see what else we offer on the website, you can go there, cryptobilbo.com. That's my website. Follow me on CryptoBilbo1 on Instagram. I'm always posting, little tidbits about the market, always giving some information out. And if you ever have a question, you always can feel free to send me a message, send me a DM. And then for tonight, my ebook, just for attending tonight's call, everybody's gonna get a copy of the top 40 crypto terms that you need to know and understand. And then also in there, the bonus is the 3 crypto power picks for 2022. That's my bonus. So Crypto Lingo is the book, and all you have to do is I'll send that out to everybody who attended tonight. So that's it. So if there's not any questions, I'll take the questions now. So if you guys have any questions, we can go over those right now.